In the far northwest of South Africa, where the land meets the border of Botswana, a vast and ancient wilderness stretches as far as the eye can see. Here, the first light of dawn spills across endless grasslands, painting the world in gold and shadow. The air is cool and still, broken only by the distant calls of waking birds and the soft sigh of the wind through the grass. This is Madikwe Game Reserve, a sanctuary where nature has reclaimed its throne. Once these lands bore the scars of ploughs and fences, but now the wild has returned in full force, weaving together a tapestry of life across 75,000 hectares. The grasslands, once tamed and tilled, now surge with vitality. Waves of green and gold ripple across the plains, hiding the secret paths of antelope and the silent stalk of predators. Herds move like living shadows, their hooves stirring the dust of a land that remembers both hardship and abundance. The wind whispers through the tall grasses, carrying with it the scent of earth and the promise of rain. Every blade sways in rhythm with the ancient pulse of the land, a place where survival is written into every sunrise and every shadow. Granite hills, their faces etched by the passage of millennia, rise from the plains like silent sentinels. Around them, the acacia-dotted savannah stretches to the horizon, a living sea of green and gold where every tree and bush is shaped by the struggle to endure. Acacia thorn bushes stand guard over the land, their spines gleaming in the morning light. These natural fortresses protect themselves from the ever-present hunger of grazers, each thorn a silent testament to the endless contest between plant and animal. The air is thick with the sharp, herbal scent of wild sage. Beneath the bushes, the undergrowth stirs with hidden life, tiny mammals, insects and birds, each playing their part in the intricate web of the savannah. The silence is alive, broken only by the distant cry of a fish-eagle or the soft rustle of a lizard darting through the leaves. Madikwe is a land of contrasts, shaped by the relentless duel between sun and rain. In one moment the earth is parched and cracked, the grasses brittle and gold beneath a merciless sky. In the next the heavens open, and the world is reborn in a riot of green. During the dry season the sun reigns supreme, the ground splits open, thirsty for relief, and the savannah glows with ochre and gold. Life gathers at the shrinking waterholes drawn together by the promise of water and the ever-present threat of danger. At these precious oases, herds of antelope, elephants and zebras jostle for space, their senses sharpened by thirst and the knowledge that predators may be lurking nearby. Every drink is a risk, every moment a test of vigilance. Then, as if summoned by ancient memory, the rains return. Storm clouds gather on the horizon, their shadows racing across the plains. Lightning splits the sky and the first drops fall, transforming the land in a matter of hours. The Marico River swells with muddy water, carving new channels through the grasslands. The savannah erupts in a surge of green, and life bursts forth in every corner. Flowers bloom, insects swarm, and the air hums with renewed energy. Each sunrise brings a world transformed. Silhouettes of giraffes and wildebeest move through the mist, their shapes ghostly against the glowing sky. The land is beautiful, but every day is a struggle, a test of endurance for all who call this wild expanse home. Within this restored Eden, a spectacular cast of creatures plays out the daily drama of existence. Herds of buffalo thunder across the plains, while nimble impalas leap through the tall grass, always alert for danger. The legendary Big Five, lion, leopard, elephant, rhino and buffalo, roam these lands, their presence felt in every shadow and every track pressed into the earth. Each is a master of survival, perfectly adapted to the challenges of this untamed world. Yet the story of Madikwe is richer still. Beyond the famous giants, a multitude of lesser-known creatures thrive, nimble steenbok, secretive genets, and the dazzling flash of a lilac-breasted roller in flight. Packs of African wild dogs, their coats splashed with colour, move like phantoms through the bush. Their hunts are a ballet of speed and strategy, each member of the pack playing a vital role in the chase. Spotted hyenas, with their eerie, echoing calls, patrol the twilight. They are the opportunists, ever watchful, their powerful jaws ready to claim what others leave behind. Herds of zebra and impala graze in the open, their ears flicking at every sound, their eyes scanning for the faintest hint of danger. The grasslands are alive with tension, every moment a delicate balance between hunger and fear. Even the smallest inhabitants, like the ever-watchful meerkats, face their own epic battles. Standing sentry at their burrows, they scan the horizon for hawks and snakes, their lives a constant test of courage and cooperation. Here, predator and prey share the same water, their fates intertwined in an ancient dance. Every encounter is a story of risk and reward, of instinct and adaptation. The land itself bears witness to these stories. Tracks pressed into the mud tell of nighttime journeys, of hunts and escapes, of the endless search for food and safety. In Madikwe, the wilderness feels untouched and vast. The silence is profound, broken only by the calls of animals and the whisper of the wind. Here the wild heart of Africa beats strong and true. The rules are simple and brutally clear. Find food, avoid becoming food, and live to see another dawn. Every creature, from the mightiest elephant to the tiniest shrew, is bound by these laws. The story of Madikwe is not just about individuals, but about the intricate web of life that connects them all. Every movement, every call, every heartbeat is part of a timeless and unforgiving dance. A dance that has played out here for countless generations beneath the whispering grass. In the heart of Madikwe, the lion reigns supreme, a living emblem of raw power and regal authority. His mane, thick and dark, signals dominance to all who cross his path. Yet beneath this veneer of strength, every day is a test, every dawn a new challenge in a world where power is never absolute. A pride's territory is a kingdom carved from the wild, defended with unwavering resolve. The boundaries are invisible, but every predator knows them well. Crossing them means war. At the core of this kingdom are the lionesses, the true architects of survival. They are sisters, mothers and hunters, bound by blood and necessity, their unity the pride's greatest strength. As the first light spills across the savannah, the lionesses slip into the mist, their bodies low and movements synchronized. Each step is calculated, every breath measured, as they become shadows in the grass. Their quarry is a warthog, small, wary, but a prize worth the risk. The warthog grazes, oblivious to the silent storm gathering around it. The lionesses fan out, each one slipping through the tall grass with practiced precision. Their strategy is ancient, honed by generations. One will drive, the others will ambush. Golden eyes lock onto the target, muscles tense beneath tawny fur. Each lioness knows her role, her place in the deadly ballet about to unfold. The air thickens with anticipation. Every heartbeat, every twitch of a tail is a silent signal. The warthog senses danger, but it is already too late. Suddenly the savannah erupts. The lionesses explode from cover, a blur of muscle and fury, closing the distance in heartbeats. The warthog bolts, but the hunters are relentless. Dust swirls as the lionesses converge, their combined strength overwhelming the desperate prey. The kill is swift, efficient, a necessity in this unforgiving land. Blood stains the grass, and the pride gathers to feed, each member taking their share in the ancient ritual of survival. But the scent of blood is a beacon. It rides the wind, calling to every scavenger and rival predator within miles. Spotted hyenas, ever watchful, emerge from the shadows. Their whooping calls pierce the morning, announcing their arrival and intent to all. The hyenas circle, emboldened by their numbers. They test the lionesses' resolve, inching closer, eyes gleaming with hunger and cunning. The lionesses snarl, baring teeth and flattening ears. But the hyenas are relentless, their laughter a taunt, their persistence a threat. As the standoff teeters on the edge of chaos, a new force enters the fray. The kings of the pride, 3 formidable males, stride forward, their presence shifting the balance in an instant. Their manes ripple, their eyes burn with authority. With a single unified charge, they announce their dominance, the ground trembling beneath their paws. Their roars thunder across the plains, a sound that freezes blood and scatters rivals. In this moment, there is no doubt who rules here. The hyenas break, fleeing into the grass, their courage dissolving before the overwhelming might of the pride's defenders. The males reclaim the kill, standing guard as the pride feeds. For now, peace is restored, but it is a peace born of power and the ever-present threat of violence. This is the law of the savannah. Order is forged not only through skillful hunting, but through the raw assertion of strength and the unbreakable unity of the pride. Every member knows their place, every challenge is met with force or cunning. Yet the greatest threats sometimes come from within. Tensions simmer beneath the surface, alliances shift, ambitions grow, and even the closest bonds can fray. During the mating season, the pride's social order is tested. Rivalries flare as males vie for dominance, and lionesses choose their mates with careful calculation. A lioness may spurn the advances of the reigning alpha, her gaze lingering on a younger, hungrier challenger. Such defiance is a spark in dry grass. The alpha cannot ignore this challenge. His authority, hard-won and fiercely guarded, is on the line. The rivals clash in a storm of claws and teeth, their roars echoing across the plains. Dust rises, blood is drawn, and the outcome will shape the pride's future. The battle is brief but brutal. When the dust settles, the alpha stands victorious, battered, blooded, but unbroken. His rule for now is secure. His triumphant roar rolls across the savannah, a proclamation to all who hear it. In Madikwe, power is never given freely. It is seized, defended, and proven, day after day, in a world where peril is ever present and only the strongest endure. The leopard is Madikwe's ghost, a master of silence and shadow. Moving unseen through the tangled wilderness, her world is one of solitude, where every step is measured, every breath calculated, and every day is a test of survival. She is a solitary hunter, treading the delicate line between light and darkness. The forest is her domain, but it is also her adversary. Each rustle in the undergrowth could signal danger or opportunity. For a mother leopard, the stakes are even higher. Her cubs, hidden deep within a secret den, are her only companions in this lonely existence. Their tiny bodies press close to her for warmth and safety, their eyes not yet accustomed to the harsh world outside. The cubs' hungry cries echo in the darkness, a constant reminder of her responsibility. She must leave them behind, venturing into a world fraught with peril, knowing that every absence is a risk. She glides through the dappled sunlight, her coat a tapestry of spots that blends seamlessly with the shifting patterns of the forest. Each movement is deliberate, her muscles rippling beneath her skin as she becomes one with the landscape. Her golden eyes lock onto a herd of impalas, their slender bodies tense with anticipation. They graze, but their ears flick and their nostrils flare, always alert to the threat that lurks in the shadows. She lowers herself into the tall grass, every muscle coiled, her gaze unwavering. The art of the hunt is a solitary dance, one of patience, precision and explosive power held in check until the perfect moment. But the impalas are quick to sense danger. A single alarm snort shatters the silence, and the herd erupts in a flurry of hooves and dust, leaving the leopardess crouched in frustration, her hunger unfulfilled. Failure is a constant companion in her solitary life. She retreats to the shade, her sides heaving, conserving precious energy for the next opportunity. In the wild, every failed hunt is a reminder of the razor-thin margin between life and death. Seeking refuge, she climbs into the high branches of a tree. Here she finds a moment's peace, surveying her territory from above, her senses always alert for threats or the promise of prey. But even in the treetops, solitude offers no guarantee of safety. Her ears twitch at every sound, her eyes scanning for danger that could come from any direction. A troop of baboons, ever watchful and fiercely protective, spots her presence. Their sharp eyes miss nothing, and their numbers give them courage. To them she is not a solitary queen, but a threat to their vulnerable young. The mothers gather their infants close, forming a living shield of defiance. The troop erupts in a chorus of barks and screams, surging toward her with a fury born of fear and protection. Their aggression is overwhelming, a wall of sound and movement that leaves no room for pride. Outnumbered and unwilling to risk injury, the leopardess slips from her perch, melting into the underbrush. Her solitary path is marked by both resilience and humility, her pride stung by the encounter. As twilight deepens, hunger gnaws at her belly. The memory of defeat sharpens her resolve, and she moves with renewed determination, her senses tuned to every whisper of the night. She is a creature of intelligence and adaptability, her solitary existence demanding constant reinvention. Each setback is a lesson, each victory a fleeting reward. This time she chooses patience over pursuit. Concealed in the thick leaves above a well-worn game trail, she becomes a silent shadow, waiting for fortune to pass beneath her. Below, a herd of impalas drifts through the gloom, unaware of the danger poised above. The leopardess holds her breath, every muscle taut with anticipation. In a heartbeat she drops from the branch, a blur of power and precision. Her claws find their mark, and the struggle is over almost before it begins. The kill is swift and silent, a testament to her skill and the necessity of her solitary life. But the struggle does not end with the hunt. She must now drag her heavy prize through the tangled bush, her muscles straining with the effort, every step a battle against exhaustion and the ever-present threat of thieves. Even in victory, she cannot rest. Her ears flick, her nose tests the air for the scent of rivals. The solitary life of a leopard is one of constant vigilance. The scent of blood travels far, and soon the shadows stir with the approach of hyenas, relentless scavengers drawn by the promise of an easy meal. They arrive as she feeds her cubs, their powerful jaws and numbers making them a formidable threat. The leopardess knows she cannot match their strength. She watches them with narrowed eyes, calculating her next move. Her solitary nature means she must choose her battles wisely. Her cubs are her future, and their safety is her only priority. With gentle nudges, she guides them back to the sanctuary of their den. She abandons her hard-won kill to the scavengers, melting once more into the shadows, her sacrifice a silent testament to the demands of her solitary life. Later, the memory of humiliation and loss burns within her. From the shadows she stalks the baboon troop that once drove her away, her eyes cold and calculating. In a flash of lethal grace, she seizes a baby baboon, not for hunger, but as a fierce reminder to the world and to herself. In the endless solitude of her existence she is, and always will be, a hunter, alone, resilient, and unbroken. In the heart of Madikwe, the spotted hyena moves with a purpose, every step a calculation, every glance a search for opportunity. Often misunderstood and unfairly maligned, the spotted hyena is one of Madikwe's most successful and intelligent predators, thriving where others might falter. Their famous laugh is not a sound of amusement, but a complex form of communication, an excited chatter that echoes across the plains when they are on the hunt or have found a kill. Each vocalization carries meaning, warnings, invitations, or signals of triumph, woven into the fabric of their social lives. Hyenas are not just scavengers, they are formidable hunters in their own right, with incredible stamina and bone-crushing jaws. Their opportunism is evident in the way they shift seamlessly between hunting and scavenging, always alert to the shifting fortunes of the wild. A clan of hyenas, led by a dominant female, can work together to bring down prey as large as a wildebeest or a zebra, running their quarry to exhaustion over long distances. Their strategy is fluid. If a hunt falters, they quickly turn their attention to other opportunities, never wasting energy on a lost cause. Their social structure is complex and fascinating, a matriarchal society where females are larger and more powerful than males. This hierarchy is not just about dominance, but about maximizing the clan's chances of survival, ensuring the strongest lead and the most resourceful thrive. The hyena's true genius, however, lies in its opportunism. Every moment in the wild is a chance to adapt, to exploit a weakness, to seize a meal that others might overlook. They are the ultimate survivors, masters of making the most of any situation. A hyena will investigate abandoned burrows, dig for hidden bones, or even fish in shallow pools. No opportunity is too small to ignore. A hyena's senses are finely tuned to the signs of a potential meal. The faintest scent on the wind, the distant flutter of vultures, or the echo of a struggle in the grass can set them in motion, their minds racing through possibilities. The sight of vultures circling in the sky or the distant sound of a predator's struggle is an open invitation. Instantly, the clan mobilizes, racing toward the promise of a meal, ready to challenge any rival for the spoils. They shadow lion prides and leopards, waiting patiently for the hunters to do the hard work. Sometimes they will even follow wild dogs, watching for a moment of distraction or weakness. When a kill is made, the hyenas will move in. Their numbers and sheer audacity often enough to intimidate a lone leopard or even a few lionesses into giving up their prize, as seen when they stole the leopard's impala. Their approach is bold, calculated and relentless. This strategy of scavenging or kleptoparasitism often brings them into direct conflict with Madikwe's other top predators. The hyenas are undeterred, knowing that fortune favours the bold. The rivalry between lions and hyenas is ancient and deeply ingrained. Each encounter is a test of nerve and strength, a contest where the outcome is never certain. It is a battle not just for food, but for dominance. The hyenas watch for any sign of weakness, ready to surge forward if the lions falter. When the three male lions charged the hyenas to reclaim their warthog kill, it was a display of raw power meant to reinforce the natural order. But hyenas are persistent, never discouraged by a single defeat. They will test the lions' defences again and again, their boldness fueled by collective strength. Each attempt is a lesson, each setback a chance to learn and adapt. A single hyena is no match for a lion, but a large clan can hold its own and will not back down easily. Their unity is their greatest weapon, allowing them to face even the most formidable adversaries. Life within a hyena clan is also filled with competition. Even among kin, every meal is a contest, every scrap of meat a prize to be won. When a kill is secured, a feeding frenzy ensues. The air fills with growls and snaps as each hyena fights for its share, the strongest and most cunning always eating first. There is a strict hierarchy, and the highest-ranking females and their offspring eat first. This order is enforced with discipline and aggression, ensuring the clan's survival. Lower-ranking members must be quick and aggressive to get their share. They dart in and out, seizing scraps when the opportunity arises, always alert for a moment of distraction. This constant competition for resources shapes them from a young age, honing the skills they will need to survive in this harsh environment. Every lesson learned at the carcass prepares them for the challenges ahead. The hyena's laugh may sound chaotic, but it is the sound of a creature perfectly adapted to its world, a resourceful, resilient and powerful force on the African plains. In every shadow, every echo and every opportunity, the hyena's story is one of survival against the odds. Among the most captivating and endangered predators in Africa is the African wild dog. In the vast, sun-drenched savannas, these remarkable hunters are constantly engaged in a battle of wits and endurance with their prey, each encounter a test of strategy and survival. With their unique coats of black, yellow and white patches, they are often called painted wolves. These colours are not just for show. They help break up the dog's outlines in the dappled light of the grasslands, making it harder for prey to spot them as they move. These animals are the epitome of teamwork and social cooperation. Every member of the pack has a role, from the swiftest runners who lead the charge to the younger dogs who learn by watching and participating in the hunt. They live in tight-knit packs, usually led by an alpha male and female, and this bond is the key to their incredible hunting success. The alphas guide the group, making split-second decisions that can mean the difference between feast and famine. Unlike lions or leopards, who rely on stealth and power, wild dogs depend on speed, stamina, and flawless coordination. Their hunts are not ambushes, but relentless pursuits, where endurance and timing are everything. Their hunts are a marvel of strategic planning, a symphony of movement where each member knows its part to play. The pack weaves through the grasslands in perfect formation, anticipating the twists and turns of their quarry. A wild dog hunt begins with a unique pre-hunt ritual, a series of chirps, yips and tail wags that seems to build excitement and reinforce the pack's unity. This ritual is more than mere communication. It synchronizes the group, ensuring every member is alert and ready. Once they have selected their prey, often an impala or kudu, the chase begins. The pack fans out, using their numbers to confuse and pressure the target, forcing it to make mistakes. They are built for endurance, capable of maintaining high speeds over several kilometers. The lead dogs push the prey, while others hang back, ready to take over when the leaders tire. During the chase, they communicate constantly, fanning out to prevent the prey from changing direction and taking turns leading the pursuit. This relay system is a masterstroke of energy management, allowing the pack to outlast even the swiftest antelope. This relay system ensures that the pack's energy is conserved while the prey is relentlessly pushed to the point of exhaustion, a tactic that results in a very high success rate. The prey, isolated and fatigued, eventually falters and the pack closes in. However, not every hunt is a guaranteed success, especially when facing formidable prey. Sometimes the quarry's own strategies, zigzagging, sudden stops or seeking cover, can outwit the pack. In Madikwe, a pack of wild dogs sets its sights on a herd of zebras. This is a far more challenging target, demanding a different approach. The zebras are much larger and more powerful than their usual targets. Their size and strength make them dangerous adversaries, and the wild dogs must adapt their tactics accordingly. The dogs initiate their chase, attempting to isolate a single individual from the herd. They dart in and out, probing for weakness, hoping to split a vulnerable zebra from the group. But zebras have their own powerful strategy for defense. Sensing the threat, they shift into a defensive posture, turning to face their attackers rather than fleeing. The herd does not scatter in panic. Instead, they remain calm, standing shoulder to shoulder, their unity a shield against the pack's tactics. Instead, they bunch together, forming a protective wall of stripes and powerful hooves. The confusion of their overlapping patterns makes it difficult for the wild dogs to single out a target. A kick from a zebra can be fatal, and the dogs are well aware of this danger. They circle warily, testing the herd's resolve but never getting too close. The lead stallion turns to face the attackers, his teeth bared in a clear warning. He stands at the front, ready to defend his family with force if necessary. Faced with this united and formidable defence, the wild dogs must make a calculated decision. They weigh the risks, knowing that a single misstep could cost them dearly. They probe the zebra's formation, looking for any sign of weakness, any individual that might break from the group. But the zebras hold their ground, their formation unbroken. But the zebras hold firm, their collective strength creating an impenetrable fortress. The wild dogs, for all their cunning, find no opening. The dogs, masters of energy conservation, realize that this hunt is not worth the risk. Their strategy shifts from aggression to caution as they regroup and reassess. A prolonged and dangerous confrontation could lead to serious injury, jeopardizing the pack's ability to hunt in the future. The cost of persistence is simply too high. They abandon the chase, melting back into the bush to search for an easier and less perilous opportunity. In this endless contest of strategy, both predator and prey reveal the brilliance of their survival instincts, each adapting, learning and enduring in the wild heart of Africa. Across the endless plains of Madikwe, herds of zebras move like living rivers, their numbers swelling and shifting beneath the African sun. Each animal, with its unique pattern of black and white stripes, is both an individual and a vital part of the herd's tapestry. Their dazzling stripes shimmer in the sunlight, a mesmerizing spectacle that ripples across the green and gold savanna. These stripes are more than decoration. They are the first line of defense in a world where danger is never far away. To the predators lurking at the edge of the grasslands, zebras may seem like easy prey. But beneath their calm exterior lies a story of resilience and defiance. The zebra is no passive victim. Each adult stands with a quiet strength, muscles coiled and senses sharp, always ready to defend itself and its kin. Built for survival, the zebra's body is a testament to power and endurance. When threatened, it can unleash a burst of speed or a sudden explosive kick. An adult's hind legs are weapons in their own right, capable of shattering a lion's jaw with a single well-placed blow. Their powerful jaws can clamp down with surprising force, inflicting wounds that warn even the boldest hunter to keep its distance. Yet the true heart of the zebra's resilience lies not in solitary strength, but in the unity of the herd. Together they form a living shield, each animal's fate bound to the others. Social bonds are woven through every interaction, gentle nuzzles, shared vigilance, and the constant awareness of one another's presence. When danger stirs, the herd transforms. In an instant they draw together, forming a living fortress, alert, unyielding, and ready to face whatever comes. Ears flick forward, heads snap up, and a ripple of tension passes through the group. Every zebra is attuned to the slightest sign of threat. The stallion, ever vigilant, is the first to sound the alarm, a piercing call that slices through the air, warning all of imminent danger. His high-pitched snort is a signal, and instantly every member of the herd is on high alert, muscles tensed and eyes scanning the horizon. Instead of fleeing in panic, the zebras draw closer, their bodies pressed together in a tight, impenetrable cluster. The mass of shifting stripes becomes a living illusion, a swirling pattern that confuses and disorients any predator that dares approach. From a predator's view, the herd is a dizzying blur. No single target stands out, and the risk of attack grows ever greater. This visual confusion is a shield as real as any wall, a defense honed by generations of survival. Even the most determined hunter can be left bewildered, hesitating at the edge of this living maze. The stallions take their place at the perimeter, standing as sentinels, eyes fixed on the threat, bodies poised to defend. Within the circle, the mares and foals are shielded, the most vulnerable protected by the courage of their elders. When a pack of wild dogs approaches, the air crackles with tension. The zebras do not falter. They refuse to run. Instead, they stand shoulder to shoulder, a wall of defiance and determination. The herd becomes a single unified force, unyielding, unbreakable. At the front, the led stallion stands tall, his eyes blazing with resolve, every muscle ready to unleash fury if needed. He raises his hooves prepared to strike, a living warning to any who would dare challenge the herd. The predators pause, weighing the risk. The zebra's courage and unity are a formidable barrier. Circling, the wild dogs search for weakness, but find only strength and solidarity. The wild dogs, clever and cautious, sense the danger in pressing their attack. The cost of injury is too high, the reward too uncertain. Reluctantly, they turn away. The zebras remain united and unbroken, their stand a victory not just of strength, but of spirit. Vigilance never fades. Even in moments of calm, the herd is always alert, eyes and ears tuned to the ever-present dangers of the plains. Every shadow, every whisper of movement in the tall grass is met with readiness. Whether the threat comes from lions, hyenas or wild dogs, the herd's answer is always the same: unity, courage and unwavering resolve. The safest place for any zebra is within the embrace of the herd, where many hearts beat as one. Each day is a lesson in vigilance, cooperation and the quiet bravery that defines their existence. The zebra's stripes may be its signature, a symbol recognized across the continent, but it is their unbreakable spirit, their fierce loyalty and their willingness to stand together that truly define them. In the wild heart of Madikwe, the zebra's stand is a powerful reminder. In unity there is strength, and in resilience there is survival. Beneath the vast African sky, where the sun bakes the earth and the grasses sway in the wind, life unfolds in 1,000 hidden dramas. While the great predators and their formidable prey often steal the spotlight, the true heartbeat of Madikwe pulses in the daily struggles and triumphs of its smaller inhabitants, creatures whose stories are written in the dust, the shadows and the open air. On the dusty plains, colonies of meerkats emerge at dawn, their eyes blinking in the golden light. Each day is a delicate balance between hunger and fear. The group fans out, foraging for insects, grubs and scorpions, their tiny paws digging through the earth as they chatter and call to one another. Their world is a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers, carved deep beneath the surface. Here, in the cool darkness, pups are born and raised, safe from the burning sun and the ever-present threat of predators. The burrows are more than shelter. They are the heart of meerkat society, a fortress built by many paws over generations. Above ground, survival is a communal effort. Every meerkat has a role, some dig, some forage, and others stand sentry, their bodies tense and eyes scanning for danger. Their teamwork is seamless, a silent language of glances and gestures honed by necessity. The sentry climbs a termite mound, rising above the grass to keep watch. While the rest of the group scours the ground for food, the sentinel stands tall, nose twitching, ears pricked, every muscle ready to sound the alarm at the faintest hint of peril. For in this world danger often comes from above. The sky, so open and blue, hides silent hunters on the wing. High overhead, the martial eagle circles, its wings casting fleeting shadows on the ground below. With eyes sharper than any mammal's, it scans the plains for the slightest movement, a flick of a tail, a ripple in the grass. Its presence is a constant threat, a reminder that the air is as dangerous as the earth. Suddenly, a meerkat on sentry duty spots the raptor's silhouette. Instantly, it lets out a shrill, piercing alarm, a sound that slices through the morning stillness and sends a jolt of fear through the colony. In a heartbeat, the entire group vanishes. Tiny bodies dart for the safety of their tunnels, kicking up clouds of dust as they disappear underground, leaving the surface empty and silent. The eagle folds its wings and dives, a blur of feathers and fury, talons outstretched, aiming for a meal that is already gone. But the meerkats are swift, their escape routes mapped in memory and instinct. The tunnels swallow them up, and the eagle is left to circle once more, searching for another chance. On this day, the hunt ends in failure for the eagle. Slowly, cautious faces peek from the burrow entrances, eyes wide and ears alert, waiting for the all-clear before life resumes. Across the plains, the cycle of life and death continues. For the very young, every moment is a test. Newborns, meerkats, impalas and countless others are at their most vulnerable. Their first day is a gauntlet of challenges. After a cleansing rain, the land is transformed. Green shoots push through the soil, and a newborn impala, still wet from birth, struggles to its feet. Its legs tremble as it takes its first uncertain steps into a world filled with both promise and peril. The calf stands alone in the open, its wide eyes scanning the grass for its mother. Every sound, every shadow is a potential threat. Innocence here is fleeting, and the lessons of survival come quickly. Beneath the surface, danger lurks unseen. Within the damp, cool earth of a termite mound, a silent hunter waits. The African rock python, a master of patience and camouflage, lies coiled and motionless. Its scales blend perfectly with the earth, its eyes fixed on the world outside. It feels the faint tremors of approaching footsteps, the vibrations of tiny hooves on soft ground. Every sense is attuned to the possibility of a meal. As the unsuspecting impala calf wanders too close, the python explodes from its hiding place. In a flash it strikes, its powerful coils wrapping around the fragile body, squeezing with relentless force. The struggle is brief and silent. The wild offers no mercy, and the python's ambush is swift, a harsh lesson in the unforgiving realities of life here. These moments, meerkats vanishing from the eagle's talons, the impala calf falling to the python, are woven into the fabric of Madikwe. Each is a thread in the endless tapestry of survival, as vital as the epic clashes of lions and hyenas. Every creature, from the tiniest insect to the swiftest antelope, lives in a state of constant vigilance. The need to survive shapes every action, every instinct, every heartbeat. Life on the ground and in the air is a relentless test, a contest of speed, awareness and instinct. The chase, the escape, the hunt and the hide are played out in endless variation day after day. From the martial eagle's powerful dive to the python's patient ambush, the intricate dance between predator and prey shapes every life in this wild place. Here, every moment is precious, every decision a matter of life and death, and the story of Madikwe is told in the silent struggles and fleeting victories of those who call it home. Life in Madikwe is governed by two powerful opposing forces, conflict and cooperation. These forces are not mutually exclusive. They often exist side by side, even within the same species. Conflict is the engine of survival, the driving force behind the daily struggle for resources. We see it in the violent clash between the two male lions fighting for mating rights, a brutal but necessary contest to ensure that only the strongest genes are passed on. We see it when the hyenas brazenly challenge the lionesses for their kill, a high-stakes gamble for a meal that could mean the difference between strength and starvation. Every hunt is an act of conflict, a life-or-death struggle between predator and prey. This constant competition for food, territory and dominance is the crucible in which these animals are forged. The mother leopard, driven by the needs of her cubs, must engage in conflict not only to hunt but also to defend her status, as shown in her retaliatory strike against the baboon troop. Even the feeding frenzy of a hyena clan is a scene of intense internal conflict where rank and aggression determine who eats and who waits. This struggle is not born of malice, it is the fundamental law of nature. an unwritten rule that ensures the health and vitality of the ecosystem by weeding out the weak and rewarding the strong, the swift and the cunning. Yet woven into this fabric of conflict is the golden thread of cooperation. For many species, working together is the key to overcoming the immense challenges of their environment. The lionesses who hunt as a team, using coordinated strategy to bring down a warthog, demonstrate the power of collaboration. Their success depends on their ability to communicate and trust one another. The African wild dogs have taken this to an even higher level, their entire social structure and hunting strategy built upon a foundation of selfless teamwork. Their pre-hunt rituals and coordinated chases are a testament to what can be achieved through unity. This spirit of cooperation is also a powerful defensive tool. The zebras, by forming their striped fortress, transform from a collection of individuals into a single, formidable unit capable of deterring even the most determined predators. The meerkats, with their system of sentinels, protect the entire colony through shared vigilance. These acts of cooperation, whether for hunting or for defence, are as crucial to survival as the sharpest claw or the strongest jaw. They reveal that in the wild heart of Madikwe, strength is found not only in individual prowess, but also in the unbreakable bonds that tie a family, a pack, or a herd together. The playful interactions of lion cubs, or the gentle nudges of young elephants, are not just endearing moments. They are the building blocks of social bonds that will one day translate into survival skills. Grooming, feeding and protecting the young are acts of cooperation that ensure the next generation is strong and capable. In times of danger, these bonds are tested and proven, as seen when a herd of elephants surrounds a calf to protect it from predators, or when lions form a protective circle around their cubs. The eyes of these animals reflect a world where every day is a battle, but also a testament to the resilience and unity that define life in Madikwe. As the sun sets over Madikwe, the cycle of conflict and cooperation continues, a delicate balance that sustains the intricate web of life in this wild paradise. As the sun dips below the horizon in Madikwe, its golden light stretches across the savannah, painting the land in hues of fire and shadow. This is a place where every day is a battle, and every night a test of endurance. The land itself has borne witness to countless stories of struggle, triumph and loss, each one etched into the very soil beneath the acacia trees. As darkness falls, the air grows thick with anticipation. The day's heat gives way to the cool embrace of night, but for the animals of Madikwe, rest is a luxury few can afford. The night brings new dangers, and only the resilient will see the dawn. This ancient wilderness, restored to its former glory, is a living stage where the drama of survival plays out in endless cycles. Here, every creature is both actor and audience, bound together by the relentless demands of life in the wild. In the tall grass, a mother leopard crouches low, her muscles taut with vigilance. She has spent the day hunting, her every move calculated to avoid detection by larger predators. Her cubs, still unsteady on their feet, rely on her for protection and nourishment. Each day she survives is a victory, each meal a hard-won prize. Her resilience is measured in scars and in the quiet determination in her eyes. Not far away, a male lion stands sentinel, his mane catching the last rays of sunlight. He is the guardian of his pride, a role that demands constant vigilance. Rival males lurk at the edges of his territory, and every roar is both a warning and a declaration of strength. His resilience is forged in battle, his authority earned through countless challenges. Beneath the open sky, a family of meerkats stands upright, their eyes scanning for danger. Eagles and jackals threaten from above and below, but the meerkats face each day with unwavering courage. Their resilience lies in their unity, in the way they take turns keeping watch, trusting one another with their lives. Every animal here, from the smallest insect to the mightiest elephant, is a living testament to the power of resilience. Their faces tell stories of hardship and hope, of battles fought and won. The beauty of Madikwe is not only in its breathtaking vistas or its iconic animals, but in the daily acts of survival that unfold across its plains. Each sunrise brings new challenges, and each sunset marks another day conquered. The zebra, its hide marked by the teeth of predators, stands as a symbol of endurance. Every scar is a memory, a lesson learned in the unforgiving classroom of the wild. When danger approaches, the zebra herd forms a defensive circle, their bodies pressed together, facing outward. They do not flee blindly. Instead, they stand united, their resilience found in their collective strength and their refusal to yield to fear. A leopardess, exhausted from a failed hunt, retreats into the shadows. Her hunger is sharp, but her resolve is sharper. She will try again, driven by the instinct to provide for her young. Her perseverance is a quiet force, unbroken by defeat. In the darkness, a hyena prowls, its senses attuned to the faintest scent of opportunity. It is a creature shaped by adversity, thriving where others falter. The hyena's resilience is found in its adaptability, its willingness to seize every chance, no matter how slim. Across Madikwe, courage is not rare, it is the currency of survival. Every animal, whether predator or prey, faces danger with a heart full of determination. Here, life and death are locked in a perpetual dance. A vulture circles above a recent kill, a silent witness to the harsh realities that shape every life in this land. In the grass, a python lies in wait, its patience rewarded when a newborn impala strays too close. For the impala, it is the end. For the python, it is the means to survive another day. This is the unvarnished truth of the wild. A lion pride feasts on a fallen buffalo, the cubs learning the lessons of the hunt. The buffalo's strength was formidable, but the lion's persistence prevailed. Each meal is a story of resilience, of life sustained by the sacrifice of another. This is the circle of life, stripped of sentimentality, raw and unyielding. Every creature plays its part, bound by the same unbreakable laws. The ecosystem thrives on this balance, efficient, relentless, and ancient. It is a system that has endured for millennia, shaped by the resilience of its inhabitants. Each day, animals face a gauntlet of challenges. A standoff between predator and prey is a contest of skill, strength, and instinct. The outcome is never certain, but the will to survive is unwavering. In the heart of Madikwe, life flourishes in all its forms. Herds gather at waterholes, predators stalk the shadows, and the air hums with the energy of survival. The animals of Madikwe navigate a world of shifting fortunes and constant trials. Their resilience is written in every step, every glance, every heartbeat. From the solitary lion patrolling his domain to the elusive leopard slipping through the grass, each animal is a master of adaptation, shaped by the demands of their environment. Wild dogs hunt with precision and teamwork, their resilience found in cooperation. Meerkats, ever watchful, rely on trust and communication to keep their families safe. Every species, from the towering giraffe to the nimble antelope, plays a vital role in this intricate web. Their lives are interwoven, each one essential to the balance of the whole. These are the survivors, creatures honed by adversity, perfectly adapted to the challenges of the savannah. Their wildness is their strength, their resilience, their legacy. As the sun sets once more over Madikwe, the silhouettes of its animals stand as a tribute to the enduring spirit of the wild. In this sanctuary, resilience is not just a trait, it is the very essence of life. As the last traces of daylight vanish, a different world awakens in Madikwe. Beneath the vast star-studded sky, the savannah transforms into a realm of shadows and whispers, a stage reserved for the most elusive of hunters. The night belongs to the predators, each perfectly attuned to the darkness, their senses sharpened by necessity. In the deep cover of thorny thickets a pair of leopards melt into the gloom. Their spotted coats, so vivid in the sun, now dissolve into patterns of moonlight and shadow. Every step is silent, each muscle coiled with anticipation. With eyes that pierce the blackness, they scan for the faintest flicker of movement, a duiker grazing unaware on the edge of safety. Nearby, a pride of lions stirs from their daytime rest. The air is cooler, carrying the scent of opportunity. The lionesses fan out, moving as phantoms through the grass, their bodies low and their ears pricked forward. They communicate in soft grunts and flicks of their tails, orchestrating a hunt in perfect silence. The male lingers behind, his watchful gaze sweeping the horizon, ready to defend the kill or his territory should rivals approach. On the open plain, a clan of hyenas emerges, their laughter echoing beneath the crescent moon. They are the opportunists of the night, patrolling the boundaries of lion territory, sniffing for the promise of a forgotten carcass or the remains of another predator's feast. Their powerful jaws can crack bone, their endurance unmatched as they roam for miles under the sheltering dark. In the trees, a pair of owls glide without a sound, their wings sculpted for stealth. With uncanny precision, they dive upon unsuspecting rodents, their talons closing in a heartbeat. The night is alive with the quiet drama of survival, each predator guided by instinct and honed by generations of adaptation. Farther afield, a lone serval cat steps delicately through the dew-soaked grass. Its oversized ears twitch at the faint rustle of an insect or the squeak of a mouse. With a sudden leap it pounces, the hunt over in a blink. The serval's solitude is its strength. Unseen and unheard, it thrives where others might falter. The drama plays out in darkness, invisible to the day-bound eye. Jackals call to one another across the plains, their cries weaving through the night air. Civets and jennets slink along hidden trails, their movements purposeful and secret. Each predator carves out a territory in the tapestry of the night, their lives a series of calculated risks and fleeting rewards. As dawn approaches, the first light reveals the subtle traces left behind. A tuft of fur, a faint paw print in the dust, the hush of wings retreating to the safety of the trees. The nocturnal hunters fade back into obscurity, their secrets safe for another day. The savannah is once again transformed, but the memory of the night lingers in the hush of the morning breeze. In Madikwe, the secrets of the night are written in shadow and silence, a testament to the unseen resilience of Africa's greatest predators. As sunlight spills across Madikwe once more, the landscape is revealed not merely as a backdrop for survival, but as a living web of connections. Here, every creature, predator and prey, large and small, is bound to the next by invisible threads of dependence and consequence. A herd of elephants rumbles through the acacia woodland, their massive forms clearing paths and breaking branches. In their wake, smaller antelope seize the opportunity to nibble on fresh leaves and fallen fruit, gifts from the giant's passage. Birds, too, flock to these feeding grounds, plucking insects stirred up by the elephant's deliberate march. Each movement is an invitation, each action a ripple through the ecosystem. Nearby, a pair of oxpeckers flutters onto the back of a Cape buffalo. Their beaks work busily, plucking ticks and parasites from the thick hide, a partnership born of necessity. The buffalo finds relief, and the birds a steady meal. This is mutualism in action, a living pact written in instinct. In the tangled undergrowth, a mongoose family patrols the shadows. Their sharp eyes and agile bodies make them adept at rooting out snakes, protecting themselves and, inadvertently, other animals that share their range. Overhead, a troop of vervet monkeys sounds the alarm at the sight of a circling martial eagle. Their calls echo through the trees, a warning understood by impala and even the birds themselves, a shared language of survival. Predators, too, are woven into this tapestry in ways that extend beyond the hunt. When a lion pride brings down a zebra, they feed first, but rarely alone. Hyenas and jackals soon arrive, their presence a natural progression. Even after the scavengers have finished, vultures descend, stripping the bones clean and returning vital nutrients to the soil. Nothing is wasted. Every life supports another. At the water's edge, crocodiles bask in the sun, their presence a silent deterrent to the careless. Fish dart between submerged roots, feeding on insects that fall from the reeds, while terrapins climb onto stones, sharing space with wary herons. Life here is a delicate negotiation, a constant dance of caution and opportunity. Even the smallest creatures play their part. Termites build towering mounds that aerate the soil, shaping the landscape and providing shelter for countless species, from snakes to warthogs. Dung beetles roll their treasures across the plain, recycling nutrients and keeping the grasses lush. In Madikwe, no animal exists in isolation. Every relationship, be it competition, cooperation or quiet coexistence, strengthens the whole. The intricate bonds between species form the backbone of the savannah, a living testament to the power of connection. Here, survival is not simply an individual struggle, but a collective endeavour, etched into the very fabric of the wild. As the day drifts into late afternoon, the savannah reveals another of its timeless stories, the relentless ingenuity of prey. For every predator's pursuit, there unfolds a saga of strategy, vigilance and adaptation, honed over generations in the crucible of survival. A herd of impala grazes in the dappled shade, their ears flicking and nostrils flaring with every shift of the wind. Each member is both sentinel and forager, eyes sweeping the grass for the hint of movement, the subtle change that might signal danger. When alarm ripples through the group, they erupt into motion, springing high in a blur of legs and dust. This is stotting, a spectacular leap that confuses the eye and proclaims strength, dissuading all but the most determined hunter. Nearby, a dazzle of zebras melds into a living pattern, black and white stripes shimmering in the heat haze. To a lion's gaze, this camouflage blurs the boundaries between individuals, making it nearly impossible to single out the weak or the young. When threatened, they bunch tightly together, a swirling barricade of hooves and muscle, ready to kick and bite in coordinated defence. In the tangled thickets, a steenbok freezes, shrinking into the grass. Stillness is its shield. Motionless, it becomes a shadow among shadows. Only when the threat draws perilously close does it bolt, zigzagging through the undergrowth in an unpredictable sprint, vanishing as suddenly as it appeared. Warthogs, with their comical posture and twitching tails, are masters of escape. At the first sign of danger, they dash for the nearest burrow, reversing in so their tusks face outward, a living barricade at the entrance to their fortress. Above, the guinea-fowls sound a chorus of warning, their sharp-eyed vigilance a boon to all who share their home. Their calls ripple outward, alerting Nyala, Kudu, and even the elusive serval, each one adjusting its behaviour in response to the shared alarm. Every moment in the wild is a test. Prey animals rely on more than speed or strength. They depend on social bonds, keen senses, and a deep-rooted knowledge of their world. Their tactics are as varied as the landscape itself: camouflage, flight, group defence, and the silent language of alarm. In this land of constant hazard, survival is not granted. It is earned, moment by moment, with every watchful glance and every calculated move. Here, in the heart of Madikwe, the true artistry of life belongs not only to the hunters, but to those who endure. With the turning of seasons, the savannah's rhythm transforms, weaving new challenges and opportunities for both predator and prey. The first rains break the long drought, painting the land in a tapestry of fresh green. Rivers swell and pools shimmer, drawing herds across vast distances. Wildebeest and zebra, once scattered and lean, now gather in great numbers, their bodies replenishing with each mouthful of tender grass. This abundance is a double-edged gift. For the lions, cheetahs and wild dogs, the congregation of prey signals a time of plenty. Hunts become more frequent, cubs and pups grow strong on the spoils of success. Yet the lush grass also offers sanctuary, a cloak for the wary impala and springbok, whose coats blend seamlessly with the rejuvenated earth. Every stalk, every chase, is a contest sharpened by the season's gifts. As months pass, the heat returns, waterholes shrink, and the green retreats, leaving behind a brittle world of dust and gold. Prey animals must travel farther for every sip, their journeys shadowed by patient predators. Crocodiles lurk at the last muddy pools, their presence a silent threat. Hyena clans prowl the shrinking margins, capitalizing on the weakened and the weary. In this season of scarcity, survival demands adaptability. Elephants dig for hidden water, their efforts creating lifelines for countless others. Small antelope become ghosts, feeding at dawn and dusk, vanishing in the midday glare. Predators too adapt. Lions range wider, leopards hunt under cover of darkness, and even the smallest owl sharpens its hunt, seeking rodents among the brittle stalks. Each cycle of rain and drought redraws the boundaries of advantage and vulnerability. The fortunes of hunter and hunted rise and fall with the pulse of the land. Here, in the ever-shifting theatre of Madikwe, every life is bound to the season's promise and peril. It is a dance as old as time, where survival is written not only in tooth and claw, but in the patient waiting for rain, and the courage to endure until it comes again. Across the sprawling wilds of Madikwe, water is more than a resource. It is the axis upon which every life revolves. In the cool hush of dawn, the first beams of sunlight shimmer across the surface of a shrinking waterhole. Here the drama of survival unfolds with every ripple and reflection. As the dry season deepens, water becomes scarce, its presence dictating the paths of the great herds. Elephants with ancient memory and keen senses lead their families over vast distances to familiar springs, their trunks testing the earth for hidden moisture. Each arrival is a moment of anticipation, ears fanned wide, eyes scanning the horizon for rivals or lurking threats. Buffalo and zebra cluster at the muddy edges, their hooves churning the banks into a mosaic of tracks and prints, a silent record of every visitor, predator and prey alike. Giraffes, elegant and cautious, splay their legs in awkward grace to reach the cool relief below, ever watchful for the sudden flash of a predator's approach. For the nimble impala, waterholes are both sanctuary and ambush. They drink in hurried intervals, heads jerking up at the faintest sound. The stillness is broken by the stealth of a leopard, its golden eyes fixed on the vulnerable, or by the sudden burst of a crocodile, ancient and patient beneath the surface. Bird life flourishes in these oases. Flocks of quailias descend in swirling clouds, their wings a living veil above the water. Kingfishers dive in flashes of blue and orange, while storks and herons stalk the shallows, their movements measured and precise. Even in darkness, the waterhole is alive. Nocturnal visitors, porcupines, genets, hyenas, arrive in silence, drawn by the promise of water and the scent of opportunity. The moon casts silver shadows on the ripples, and the night fills with an orchestra of frogs and insects, their calls echoing across the sleeping grasslands. Every creature, great or small, is bound to these liquid lifelines. In times of abundance, waterholes are centres of peace, a brief armistice in the contest for survival. In times of drought, they become arenas of competition, where patience, timing and courage decide who will endure. Here, at the heart of Madikwe, water shapes every behaviour, every alliance, every risk. It is the silent architect of life's rhythm, a force as ancient as the land itself, and as vital as the breath of every animal that calls the wild home. Beneath the endless sky of Madikwe, invisible highways thread through the grasslands, ancient routes carved by the relentless passage of hooves and padded paws. These are the migration trails, etched not in stone but in memory, instinct and survival. As the first light seeps over the plains, wildebeest gather in restless clusters, their bodies pressed together by an urge older than any one life. With the changing seasons, their journey begins, a procession that stretches beyond the horizon, each animal guided by the subtle cues of wind, scent, and distant thunder. Dust rises in swirling columns, marking the passage of thousands, moving as one restless tide. Zebra families, bold and vigilant, interlace their paths with the wildebeest, their stripes a-dazzle against the tawny grass. They follow remembered rivers and ancient salt licks, their route mapped by the wisdom of generations. Calves, barely a few days old, stumble beside their mothers, learning with every step the art of endurance and the shape of the land. Giraffes, solitary yet ever watchful, drift along the fringes of these great herds, browsing on acacia sentinels that have witnessed migrations for centuries. Their long strides cross the same terrain year after year, drawn by the promise of distant groves and the memory of rain. Predators, too, are students of these migrations. Lions and wild dogs anticipate the shifting tides of prey, their movements synchronized with the great exodus. They wait in the shadows, patient, knowing that the land itself will deliver opportunity to their doorstep. Above, vultures and eagles trace the trails from the sky, their sharp eyes reading the patterns below. They are the silent chroniclers of triumph and loss, following the migrations as faithfully as the herds themselves. Even the smallest travellers, termites, dung beetles and butterflies, move in concert with the pulse of migration. Their lives are woven into the fabric of these journeys, each playing a role in the renewal of the land. With every passing season, these migrations leave a legacy. Trails pressed into the earth, seeds scattered by hooves, and the memory of ancestors guiding each new generation. In times of plenty, the herds surge forward, a living river across the savannah. In times of hardship, the trails grow faint but never vanish, waiting for rain, for hope, for return. Here, in Madikwe, migration is more than movement. It is a testament to resilience, a living memory, and a promise carried on the wind. The land remembers every footfall, every crossing, every return, a story written not in words, but in the endless journey of life.